We're starting this week's vlog with a theatre trip. I wonder if we can guess which show I'm going to see for the 5th time this year. Hi everyone, my name's Chloe, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today. Today's video is the start of a new weekly reading vlog, but we're starting it, like I said, with theatre, not reading. I'm not read at all. Today is Monday. I am currently at Becca's house, so it looks a little bit different than the normal backdrop I film in. Just getting changed because we are about to head to the theatre to go and see Moulin Rouge. Becca and Lisa are going to be seeing it for the first time. We were supposed to go and see Panic at the Disco tonight, but we sold our tickets and bought tickets to go and see Moulin Rouge instead, which was probably a good choice because if you've seen any of the videos from the Panic at the Disco tour, not looking great. But we are going there now. So far today, Becca's been at work, so me and Lisa have been here and we have watched Rent. She cried, as I expected. We then watched Beetlejuice because we found out that Lisa has not watched Beetlejuice, like the film, in her life. She was hiding this very well from us all. So we made her watch that. Despite what she's telling the group chat, she did really enjoy it. But I thought I would just phone click to open this vlog, and I will have some footage at the Moulin Rouge Theatre for you later. It is Moulin Rouge on the West End, so sadly there is no Aaron Tveit, but fingers crossed there is somebody else in it whose name I'm not allowed to mention at the minute because we have not had confirmation that he is actually on tonight. But if he is, I will definitely be talking about him later, you know this. But I'll catch up with you guys soon.
Sacrifice the Say hello. Hello.
Hello. As you may be able to tell, I'm now back home. It is Tuesday evening. I have an update to do since yesterday as I was getting ready to go to the theatre. So I've not given you any updates on Moulin Rouge. How dare I? I mean, I'm sure you are all like waiting with bated breath to see if I actually enjoyed the show, because you know, no one knows my feelings on that show at all. I've not made it very clear. Not at all. Anyway, so yeah, we went to the theatre. It was me, Becca and Lisa. It was the first time that they'd seen the show. I have obviously seen it a few times. It was the 8th time I've seen it. I have a problem. It is fine. I was not saying the name of the actor who was playing Christian because I did not want to jinx it, but it is fine because I can now say that Jamie Moscato was on last night and he was fantastic, obviously. Like, he's so good. I will say that having now seen Aaron Tveit and then Jamie Moscato in pretty quick succession, Aaron Tveit is my favourite Christian. Like, he just is. He's so good. But Jamie Moscato is a very close second. Like, I like just some of the little bits that he does with the character. I really like so essentially in Moulin Rouge you've got, it's very much a show of two halves, which, like, I know that's obvious, like there's an interval, like there's 2 acts obviously, but the 2 halves of the show are very different. The first half is setting everything up and it's a lot happier, and like it's about sort of, and it's about sort of the setup of the romance and all that. And then the second act is sort of the slow descent into madness for one of the characters, for Christian in particular. It's not particularly spoiling anything to say that, like, things happen that start to make him, like, just go a little bit crazy. For you know, kind of understandable reasons. I mean, he also does silly things himself that just does not make it easier on himself. But we'll get to that bit in a minute because there's one particular moment in the show that, like, is probably the bit that I have like the biggest reaction to, but I will get to that in a second. But I really like how Jamie Scott kind of does the stuff in the first act. He does sort of the more awkward bits of Christian at the beginning of the show really well, and I find that I really like those. I think the comedy works really well, but particularly like the sort of madness in the second act. The first thing I ever saw him in was as JD and Heathers, so I know he can do those sort of like darker characters and does not disappoint when he's playing Christian at all. I'm going to obviously talk about this in my actual like theatre wrap up, so I will probably give more thoughts about it, but because, like I said, there's one particular moment that I will go more into in that, because like I'll do a bit of spoilers in that, but there's basically just one moment where there's one moment where he kind of messes everything up, and there's a moment of silence after he says his line, and it's just like every time I'm just there like I can't not like I can't not like physically react to it, because it's just like you can hear gasps in the audience, even though people know it's coming because people have seen the film, but still it's just like a you really just said that, didn't you moment. And I felt like last night, like, I could feel the reaction in the audience. I will say I sat in a different seat than I've sat in that theatre before. So when I saw it last month, obviously was not in London, so it was a completely different theatre, and all those times I sat in the orchestra, or what we would call the stalls, and so I sat in like various places throughout the theatre there, but I've not sat in the stalls in the UK. In London I've always sat in like the cheaper seats that are higher up, and this time we ended up, because then basically we'd sold our tickets to go and see Panic at the Disco, so we used the money that we had spent on that for the Moulin Rouge tickets, which meant that we could get the ones in the stalls because we had a little bit more money to put towards it. So we were right at the back of the stalls, and I was a bit worried about, like, because when I went to see it in New York, when we were sat at the back of the stalls, there wasn't really like any rake at all to the seats, and they weren't sort of spaced in a way as well where you can sometimes, well, sometimes the theatres will sort of put the seats so that each row kind of is just like off from it's just sort of offset from the other one, so that you're kind of looking between people rather than just at the back of someone's head. And they didn't do that in the ones in New York, so I had a tall person sat in front of me for the second time that we went to see it, and I did have to kind of like lean into Meg a little bit to see some of the things. But the theatre for Moulin Rouge in the UK is actually really good. It's got like a really raked stalls, so you're actually higher than the people in front of you, which worked very well because it meant I had a perfect view, which I feel like is very much needed for this show. It's a spectacle. You would like to actually like see everything that's happening on stage. So I will probably be looking at getting those seats if I go. Why am I saying if? When I go again? Actually, why am I saying if? Because what I haven't told you. So today, what have I done today? Travelled home from Becca's. I haven't really like filmed a clip in this vlog. I had a talking clip with Becca in last week's vlog, but I haven't filmed one this week just because I didn't get a chance. Because she was working yesterday, and then she came home. We ate very quickly, and then we left very quickly, and the weather wasn't great as well, so it wasn't like I could film when we were outside. So I think there's a clip of Becca and Lisa very quickly in the theatre. Lisa then had to get a overnight coach back home because she realised that she'd messed up her holidays, which meant that she had to travel back overnight to go back to work today. The original plan was that she was travelling today. That didn't happen, so I stayed at Becca's last night, and then I left this morning because I had like a fairly early train, so I'm like, I'll just leave when you go to work. And again, because obviously she was getting ready to go to work, I wasn't going to be like, let's film a vlog clip. So I swear they were actually there. You saw them in the theatre, but they haven't said hi to the vlog, but I am seeing them at the end of the month, so I will get everyone to say hi then, because there is a big group of us then, because we're meeting up for Becca's birthday. But anyway, back to what I've done today. So I travelled home. I did not read any of my book on the train because I was a little bit tired, so I had a nap instead. And then I just spent the afternoon like relaxing, doing nothing. And then I got an email saying that the booking period for Moulin Rouge had been extended, because originally it was booking till, in the last extension was until July. And then they decided to and now they've decided to do another extension to the end of September. What that means is that there are more can seats available, and the can seats is basically at the front. There is this sort of walkway that comes out from the stage, and there are tables that are kind of like in between where the main stage is and where the walkway is, and they are on like little and they're like, and these are actual like tables as well, so it's like cabaret style seating, and I think there's like 10 tables of them, and they sell out pretty quickly once they go on sale, or at least the weekend ones do, and the weekday ones you can probably get for like a couple of weeks, but when they put a new block of tickets up, they do sell out quite quick. And me and Meg have been wanting to go to the can seats, so I may have messaged her and be like, they've just extended the booking period, which means there are more weekend can seats available, and we have a weekend planned, and we have a show booked in September already, and so like, should we just like coincide it with that? Why not? It did not take much convincing for either of us, so yeah, we're gonna go and see Moulin Rouge in the can seats in September, and I'm very, very excited. It would appear that the current cast is continuing on because there are holiday dates on the website for the current cast, so it looks like the two leads are extended. And yeah, can seats, we've chosen the ones, so there are some that are like in between the walkway and the main stage, and then there's some that's like just behind the like end of the walkway, but that's essentially just like a front row seat, so we said we'd rather go for the ones that are in between, because that's kind of like more like in the action of it, which is what you're getting with the can seats, really. That's what you're going for. But we've gone for the ones that are, we've gone for the left hand side of the stage, because that is where the show kind of starts. There is a whole thing of raising the Moulin Rouge sign, so we're sitting on that side, so we're closer to that, but also we've sat in the one that is closer to the central walkway, so that because there are a lot of things that happen like bang centre on the stage, and we will be right there for that, and I'm very, very excited. So that is in September, so I've got to wait for it yet, but something to look forward to. I will possibly see Moulin Rouge again before then. Now that Becca and Lisa have seen it and they both really enjoyed it. I haven't actually said that. They both did really enjoy it. Lisa was ranking like the shows that she's seen on stage, and her number 1 and number 2 were both shows that she's seen this weekend, because the number 1 was Wicked and the number 2 was Moulin Rouge. And Becca said that Moulin Rouge is now in her top 5. So I'm feeling like very vindicated that other people did actually love this. It's not just me with a weird obsession. But now that they've both enjoyed it, they've kind of obviously gone back to the rest of the friend group as well and told them that they enjoyed it. So now everyone's kind of wanting to go and see it. So I'm just there like, if anyone would like to go and see it and would like company, please do let me know, because I will happily go and see it again. I mean, I've got a 9th viewing booked. I feel like I should get to 10 really, just like get it as a nice round number. This is quickly going to become the show that I've seen the second most out of anything, because at the minute my order is Les Mis, which I've seen 25 times, and then Waitress, which I've seen 11 times. So Moulin Rouge is very, very quickly catching up to Waitress. And I mean, I hate to think what it'd be like if I actually lived in London, because Waitress, the reason I saw it so many times is that I was living in London. It said it was like a pick-me-up musical, so if I had a bad day at work and had cheap tickets left, I'd just get them after work, because it used to be that midweek it didn't sell that well, so you'd be able to get like £20 tickets on, Today Ticks quite regularly. So I used to just get the really cheap ones and go. I mean, Moulin Rouge would be harder to do that because they don't tend to have the cheap tickets, but I would have definitely gone more times if I was living down there. So yeah, the fact that I've seen it that many times, having like living up here, it's like a little bit ridiculous. I mean, obviously 3 of those times were in 1 week and not even in the UK, but that's a whole other story. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I should actually tell you about books. I am reading Paris Court is About to Crumble. I am on Gem Sprints at the minute. I've not read that much because I put a musical that will go unnamed on to listen to, and I have been singing along rather than reading, but I am going to read. I'm determined to finish this, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, we will see. But I will probably catch up with you guys tomorrow. I feel like I probably missed something else from this. It's weird because it's weird because the weekend away was actually like started in last week's vlog, and then I ended it on Sunday just so that like, my days didn't get confused. But then it's meant that like I've only got part of the weekend away to talk to you about now, and I'm like, what did I need to tell you and what didn't I need to tell you? Like, I'm sure I talked about Wicked in last week's vlog, but it's okay because I do my wrap up at the end of the month, so it's fine. I do have weekend plans this weekend as well, that I don't think I've mentioned yet, but we will get to those on Saturday. Saturday's when I go. I'm in London again with Meg. Going to see Jamie Moscato again, actually. Actually, let me tell you about these. It's a long clip already. Let's just ramble some more. So on Saturday, we do not have plans yet for the matinee. We haven't decided exactly what we're doing, but we'll probably try and get rush tickets for something. I think the plan was Bake Off, but we will see. Saturday evening, we're going to go and see Standing at Sky's Edge at the National Theatre. Sunday afternoon, again, we do not have anything planned, but there is potential we will go back to see Wicked because we want to see the new cast. They just started tonight, actually. And I'm waiting to see what people's thoughts are, because there are people that I follow on Twitter who are there right now, and it is about to finish, so I will have a look when I finish filming this clip. And then Sunday evening, we're going to go and see Once in Concert, which is starring Jamie Moscato and Carrie Hope Fletcher, the original JD and Veronica from the West End cast of Heathers. And I love them both, and I love them both together as well. And Once is a musical that I have had tickets for previously. It was supposed to tour in like 2020, and obviously that didn't happen, and it wasn't a tour that they just postponed, it was something that they cancelled. At that point, like, there wasn't a cast for that show, so it wasn't like a particular cast that I wanted to see. It was just that I was like vaguely interested in the show. I've never actually seen the film that it's based on. Maybe I should try and watch that this week, actually. But yeah, but I know enough of the music that I like how it sounds. I'm not sure if I'm gonna love it, but it was one that was just like, I wanted to see it just to kind of see what it's like. And it was coming to Sheffield, so I booked tickets, and then said it got cancelled. But when the concert got announced, I was like, oh no, this time I'm going to see it because I really, really like this cast. And they've released a clip of them singing Falling Slowly, and it sounds beautiful. So I'm very excited to see that on Sunday. And then I travel back on Monday. So yeah, that's Saturday, Sunday this week. It's not prolonged like it has been now. Say it's Tuesday now, I'm back at work tomorrow, so I've got 3 days at work, and then I'm back away for the weekend, and then we'll see if I actually get some reading done this week. I am actually going to go now because this has been a really long clip. This is going to be fun to edit. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello. I am cocooned at the minute. I definitely forgot to film an update yesterday. I chose not to film one the day before, but yesterday I just forgot. It is Friday morning. I'm just like logging into work. My computer's just starting up. I thought I'd say hi. What have I done? The day before, the Wednesday when I chose not to update, it was because I was just really tired, so I had an early night and I didn't really do much. I tried to read a little bit, but couldn't concentrate. Yesterday, I was on sprints. I was on live sprints, but I spent them filming. And then I was going to film a clip for this after the sprints finished, and I stayed backstage talking stories till like 1 a.m. So that is why I didn't film an update last night. I didn't read anything yesterday, so I'm still like 120 pages away from the end of Paris Style & Co. It's About to Crumble. Hopefully we'll finish it today, but I have a lot to do today. I need to, because I'm at work, I need to pack in my lunch break. I need to edit the videos I filmed yesterday, and I also have the live show for God's Grave tonight. So there's things to do, but hopefully we'll actually have some time to read as well. If not, I'm determined I will read on the train tomorrow, if I actually get on a train tomorrow, because there's a lot of snow. Trains still seem to be running at the minute, and the snow's supposed to stop in a couple of hours, but obviously then there's ice afterwards. But fingers crossed I managed to get to London, because I have things booked. Even if I don't, like, if trains are delayed and I don't get there for a matinee, that's not the end of the world. We haven't booked a matinee yet, but I would like to get there for tomorrow evening show, and I would definitely like to be there for Sunday evening show. So I am going to actually start work now. I just thought I'd say hi so that there is some content in this vlog. I know I filmed like a long clip the other day, so there's that at least. And I will have content this weekend because I will be going to London. Right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, so a quick update, quiet update, because once again everyone is asleep. It's now midnight on Friday night going into Saturday. I managed to edit both my videos. I didn't manage to read any, just put off editing for a while and then didn't read. We didn't end up having a live show today for various reasons. It just didn't work out for a couple of us, and it made more sense to postpone it than to just have, like, it would have basically just been me and Ash on the live show. So it made sense just to move it. So we moved that to Monday. So I have no excuse for not reading because I have more time, but I still didn't do it. But everything is, well, it's nearly finished uploading now. I've got 2 videos, one coming out tomorrow, Saturday, and one coming out Monday. And the Saturday one is all uploaded and scheduled. The Monday one is just finishing uploading. And then that's got 10 minutes left, and then I can go to sleep. And then tomorrow morning, head towards London. I've packed, I did that as well. So I've been productive, just still not done the reading thing, but I will read on the train tomorrow. That's where when I actually managed to read last week was on the train, so fingers crossed I can do that again. I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. We are back in awful hotel room lighting, because of course we are. I'm in London. There is a Meg. Yeah. It's like, I will sit up.
I'm tired.
Yeah, understandably. It's like nearly 1 a.m. Mm-hmm. We have been at the theatre. We went to go and see this one, the Great British Bake Off musical. It was fun, I feel like is the best word to describe it.
Ridiculous and charming in sort of equal measure.
There was a like fun song that was very phallic. There was
Phil Hollingsworth jacked off pastry, basically.
Pretty much. What were the other like really ridiculous bits? There was, what was the last one before the interval that was like felt very over the top as well, and I can't remember what it was.
There was a handshake one.
Oh yeah. And
then there was one where Pam just had like a dance number, which was very odd.
Yes, that was just after the interval.
What was before the interval?
I can't remember. I just remember saying it was ridiculous. Let me get the song list. I will edit this bit out of the vlog. All the Way. I just remember it being like, it was the hand getting cut and the because no one went home.
And
the ice cream, it was like, it was Bingate. It was all of like
I didn't think that was that ridiculous. I thought that was pretty on brand for Bake Off.
Yeah, it just seemed like everything sort of happened all at once in one go. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they have to condense like an entire summer's worth of TV into an act.
I feel like it was just like a lot of the other songs are just like, okay, these like soft songs about baking, and that was something like everything that could go wrong is going wrong. But it was a fun time. It was like, it's not one that I'm in like a desperate rush to see again, but I'm glad that I saw it. And then we went to go, well, we did also like just wander around London and like obviously go and have food and things like that, but then we went to see another musical in the evening.
Yeah.
Although, are we calling it a musical or are we calling it a play that had some music in it? This is sounding like I'm going to say it's bad.
It's a play that has the characters sing songs.
Yeah. But not like singing songs instead of speaking.
No, the cast just have to be able to sing so that they can provide the soundtrack, basically.
The thing was Standing at Sky's Edge.
Which was really good, and I cried.
It was very good.
A lot.
It's basically about this block of flats that are in Sheffield, and it's 3 families all living there at in different eras. So there's one that sort of starts at the end of the 60s and goes through to the early 80s.
Yeah.
Another storyline that starts at the late 80s and then goes through to like the early 2000s.
Well, no.
And then there's a modern one.
The 80s ones end and start at the same time.
Oh yeah, but there was like a jump, wasn't there? There was like, you sort of saw them in like 80.
It was like 3 years.
Yeah.
Of like
the timeline sort of jump around a little bit, yeah.
And then the actual end.
Yeah, because I remember there was like a bit in like 84 or something, and then there was like, and then it was 89 that it ended. Yeah. Anyway, there were just lots of like things, and they all start to sort of combine, and
And it was really sad.
It was. There were sad moments towards the end in particular. The end of Act 1 was just really stressful.
I was so anxious at the end of Act 1.
Was,
the music started getting loud and you could feel like the bass and the guitar.
We were sat very close as well, which probably didn't help.
And then they were just like throwing things on stage and people just kept like falling repeatedly as their choreography, and I was just like,
the one who plays the Connie, she was like, the way she kept like falling, I was like, how are you doing that? I was like legitimately thought she was actually falling at one point.
But I thought the guy that ran across the stage didn't fall on purpose, and then people kept falling. I was like, that was on purpose. He didn't just
No, it was a lot. It was just like,
it was a lot.
It's kind of just a story of like Northern Britain as well in general, because it was like set up like for the earlier storyline, like a lot of it is set during like the steel worker strike and then leading into the miners' strike as well, and it was just sort of about,
it was grim.
Fun.
As 2 people from northern areas that were directly affected by strike action and Thatcher Britain.
Yeah.
It was a moment.
I mean, I literally, like, they mentioned that you could see the train station from the block of flats, and I was like, yes, because I was at that train station this morning, and the flats were right there. Like, it was strange. There was definitely, like, in the audience, I feel like you could tell which people were Northern and which people weren't. Like, because there was a lot of people who were laughing at, like, jokes that were very particularly Northern. And then there was a guy in front of us who had some opinions at the interval.
There was a woman sat next to me who did not know why a joke about Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United was funny. And I was like, 1, you must just be quite dumb, because context clues would give that away.
Yeah, like,
and 2, what do you mean?
Like, for reference, like, the joke was, it was like a couple, and one of the woman said,
don't get in a relationship, stay single, because he loves Sheffield United more than me.
Sheffield Wednesday. So he loves Sheffield Wednesday more than me, and then he turned around and said, I love Sheffield United more than you. I feel like that doesn't need explaining. Like, there are 2 teams. You're going to like one, not the other.
Yeah.
If you like the one that you don't like more than your partner, that's saying something. I did not need to explain that to you. But this woman really didn't understand
it. Her boyfriend literally just went to it. It's football.
But
it was very funny.
But no, it was a good show. It was probably going to win all the awards at the Oliviers.
Yeah. I'm probably going to be sad about it for a while.
We did have thoughts on like one of the storylines, but I will go into that more in my wrap up at the end of the month, because my hand is hurting holding this camera up. It's been like 6 minutes nearly. Tomorrow we are going to go and see Once in concert with Carrie Ho Fletcher and Jamie Moscato. I did tell you that Jamie Moscato was at the start and the end of the vlog this week. And we may be going to see Wicked, depending on things.
I know, I've been trying to find out if Lucy St. Louis has been in it all week.
Same, but I can't get internet at the minute, so I can't.
Yeah.
But we will keep you updated. Right now, we're gonna but
I'm
you
gonna
need to
wash my
shower
hair.
and then sleep.
Life
I need
is
to.
hard.
I nearly finished my book. I've got 40 pages left. I'm gonna do it. I stopped calling these reading vlogs like this week. I literally did not put it in the title because I'm like, I'm not reading anymore. It's just a vlog. Enjoy. Good night. Hello.
Hi.
Meg's a little bit warm.
Yeah, I am.
This will be a very quick clip because we do need to leave because we are going to go and see Wicked. We have booked the tickets for it, hoping that Lucy St. Louis is on. So far, they've announced a cover for Elphaba, but not for Glinda. So
But she's been on every day this week,
Yeah.
so I think her chances are a little bit slim.
But then again, like, Glinda doesn't always have a set day off every week. Elphaba seems to have more time off than
I'm just
Glinda.
like used to not
Fair.
seeing Lucy Lewis and things I want to see her in.
Fair enough. But fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I mean, we've
Hopefully.
got good seats in the stalls for like $29.50, so not too bad. Considering that they are like closer than the tickets we paid twice as much for last week.
Yeah, gotta love Today Ticks.
Yeah.
And their daily offers.
And then we're going to go and see Once this evening, and I'm allowed to say the name of the people who are on because we are like pretty sure that both Carrie Hope Fletcher and Jamie Mascotto will be on tonight. Like, the whole concert has been advertised on those two.
Yeah.
It'd be very strange. I feel like they'd have announced by now if one of them couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen clips of Jamie Mascotto with a guitar practicing. So
Yes, yes, within like the last 2 days.
Is in the venue.
Yeah,
so.
she's posted an Instagram story of her on the tube saying that she's never been more nervous for a performance. I'm like, okay, that bodes well. It's because they have to play instruments as well. So she's had to relearn how to, she had like a basic knowledge of how to play like keyboards, and then she's had to relearn a lot of it this week. I'm like, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to it.
It's gonna be good.
And now we have Next to Normal. Okay, right, we're gonna go because we need to go and get food before we go and watch Wicked, but I'm sure there will be B-roll and then a clip later where I just talk about Jamie Mascotto for quite a while because that's what normally happens.
Yeah, there may be some very brief thoughts about the musicals we saw yesterday because Chloe forgot that she had
Well,
thoughts.
no, I gave you thoughts yesterday. It's just that I have more thoughts about them, but like I don't know whether I will put them in this vlog or if I will just put them for the wrap up. I just wanted to make sure I got the thoughts
that you
out.
said them out loud so that they were in your brain.
Because like Bake Off in particular, like had a couple of things I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to mention that, and I didn't. But this is not the place for it right now. So we will see you later. Bye. Hello, I am very shiny. I'm back in the hotel now.
To be shiny.
That's a Meg. Back in the hotel now. It is Sunday evening. Before I tell you what I did today, I will tell you reading updates because I've like told you I was reading Paris Island Court is about to crumble this week, but I don't think I've given you any thoughts. I finished it now. I've given it a 4 stars. It's more like a 3.5, but like it felt more appropriate to round it up to a 4 on Goodreads than to round it down to a 3. It was not as good as the first one. I felt like the relationship between them, both of them, like I just really wanted them to communicate better, and just like I still don't particularly know if I like root for them to get together. I feel like some of their issues are like too big for them to actually get over, and it felt very like conveniently tied up at the end. But like I still had fun. There is going to be a 3rd one in the series. I will still read it. I still like all the baking stuff, so why not? We did go to the theatre again today though. There is a mic. We did. Hi. Only coincidence too, because we were at like a really weird angle yesterday where I was like on the floor.
I just look terrible.
Oh, so do I. It's fine. I have programs I bought over props and now I can't pick them up because they're on the wrong side. There we go. Okay.
Smooth.
I was going to cut that bit out, but okay. I was leaving you saying smooth.
Yeah.
So we went to see 2 shows. We did end up buying the tickets to go and see Wicked. And was Lucy St. Louis on today?
She was indeed.
She was. She was very, very good.
She's excellent.
We had the cover for Elphaba, so we have not seen Alexia Karim yet, but we did see Lucy St. Louis and she was fantastic.
And to be fair, I was only going for Lucy St. Louis.
Yeah, like it would have been more disappointed if she wasn't on.
Yeah.
There was a moment like when the bubble came down, where you're just like looking because you can't see her properly at first, and it's like, is this Lucy?
Like, there's someone in a blue dress.
We do not know if it is her yet. But no, she was very good. She was like, because what we've seen her in before was Phantom as Christine, which is like...
I think I might have seen her in The Man of La Mancha, but I have no memory of this.
But like generally like Christine in Phantom is like a fairly sad role. Like, there aren't many happy moments. She's either sad or terrified for the majority of it.
She has, like, one happy moment of, like, oh.
Yeah, all I ask of you, basically, is, like, but even that starts off with her being, like,
terrified.
Scared
out of her wits.
Yeah, there's no, like, just pure happiness moments in it for her, really.
They spin around, like, a single time in All I Ask of You. And they're both quite happy. And then someone gets murdered.
Yeah, and then a chandelier crashes.
Actually, no, someone's already been murdered. It's the chandelier that crashes.
Yeah.
He already died at that point.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
Spoiler alert for Phantom. Murder and chandeliers crashing.
Yeah.
And spinning around.
Spinning around.
But no, it was interesting to see her do something where she was just, like, more ridiculous and, like, particularly first act Glinda.
Yeah, like, not the naive, like, scared, like, child.
No, like, Glinda's got confidence.
Yeah. There was a lot of personality.
Yeah. It was fun. And then, like, the vocal moments where, like, she does start to, like, show off a bit more, like, with no one was wicked at the beginning, and then thank goodness, and then no one was wicked at the end. Just like, yes, thanks. So very, very good. And then we went to go and see, Meg will hold up the prop. We went to go and see Once with Carrie Hope Fletcher and Jeremy Moscato. It was just so good.
Jeremy Moscato is so good.
It really
Carrie Hope Fletcher is also excellent, but she had less to do in it.
Yeah, like...
And I feel like just the first moment of the show, Jamie starts singing, and you're like, damn.
So good. Like, he comes on his own, and it's also, like, Once is performer and what they called it. It's the way of saying it. It's an... I'm going to cut this bit out. There's a way where they describe it as actor something or some flash something else, and I don't know what it is. Actor musician, is that basically what it is?
I guess.
Anyway, basically, the cast in Once have to play the instruments as well. So actually all the band were also, like, characters. Yeah. So there isn't no
single person on that stage not multitasking.
Yeah. So, like, they were all doing, like, extra work in there.
And the child.
And yeah. And like, so Jeremy Moscato comes on at the beginning, just like him and the guitar, and sort of starts the entire show. And
to be fair, it started the guitar, we could hear it, but only because we were in the stalls and quite close.
Because it was like halfway through and, like, strumming a note, and it just came on very loud.
And then I was like, oh, so it wasn't working.
So there were some technical issues. There was a show stop.
It was a show stop.
So we're like 2-3 songs in. It was Falling Slowly, which is a song that people know from.
Second song, I think.
Yeah. Because he'd had the song he sang on his own. She came and did the whole thing of, like, is that your song? And then sat down at the piano and played his song. Yeah. Sat down at the piano and then played the song that she'd taken from his notes. And yeah, it got to Falling Slowly. Said it's a song that if you're going to know anything from Once, it'll be that one, because it's the one that, like, won the Oscar. Did it win the Oscar? It was nominated for the Oscar for the film anyway, definitely. It's like, it was the big single.
Yeah.
And yeah, it got to the end of that. And, like, throughout that, Jamie's guitar was still not, like, sounding great.
No.
Like, he was playing the notes fine. It was just not coming through the speakers properly.
Yeah. And moments.
And so then suddenly got to the end of that, and this woman, like, dressed all in black, just came on and sort of, like, ushered one side of the band off the stage, then went to Jamie and Carrie in the middle, was like, you go as well, then went to the other side of the band, and was just like, okay, safety curtain comes down. No announcement immediately. Like, the people behind us were like, are we being evacuated? Which we clearly weren't. Because if we were being evacuated, we probably would have been told we were being evacuated.
There was, like, no sense of urgency about any of it. Like, it was just, they pulled down the curtain.
Yeah, like, they weren't, the ushers were still, like, stood at the doors like they normally are. Like, it wasn't like this is a break, so...
They weren't stood, they were, like, leaning.
Yeah, but I mean, they're like, it was just, like, normal. Like, it wasn't
they
like...
They had no concerns.
Yeah, they didn't think it was going to be an extended break, because they weren't like, oh, like, go to the bathroom, go on.
Yeah.
Thanks. And then, like, finally an announcement came on and was like, we have a technical difficulty. And I don't know if you saw the guy, like, came to the side of the speaker and he was, like, saying something in the microphone, doing, like, a check for the speaker at the side.
So he, like, slid down it.
Yeah, so it's definitely sound issues.
Yeah.
And then he came back on and...
They did it again.
they did, like, a little bit with it, because... So they both have accents in the show. Like, they're called Guy and Girl. So Guy is Irish and Girl is Czech. And... they came on and they were, like, still talking in character, and they came on and said thank you for your patience, and then went to do the line that was before Falling Slowly, where she's basically saying to him, like, something about if you play it for me, and it's like, play it for me again. And then sang Falling Slowly again, so we got to hear it twice. And then there is a reprise at the end that is not a reprise, it's just a full song again.
They just play the song again with a slightly different orchestration.
It's listed in the programme as a reprise. I'm like, it's really not. But
like, okay, it's a reprise only because it happens in Act 2 as well as Act 1.
But it's just the same song. I appreciated it. It was great.
So we heard that 3 times tonight.
Yeah.
And considering it was the only song either of us knew going in, good time.
But no, like, it's one of those shows where, like, it's a very, like, quiet story. Like, there's not that much that happens to it, but it was just, like, really pretty. And they said the voices were really good, and it was just nice to watch.
It felt like an indie movie.
Yeah, which is what it was, essentially.
Yeah.
So, makes sense. The lighting design was very, very good as well. I could just felt it was very atmospheric.
I'm like so sad that, like, it wasn't filmed.
Yeah, it was just, there was a bit at the end of the first act where it's the girl sort of starting to realise that she likes the guy, basically, and it's him playing a performance in a bar somewhere, and the way they had all this haze sort of on the stage, and then there's just like orange and yellow light and everything, and it just like, looked beautiful.
He was lit properly. She was lit properly, and then the stage looked like a sunset. Yeah, it was just like an aura of light, wasn't it? It was like pinks and oranges, and it was really pretty. And then there was a moment when he said like the word gold or something, and it was just like blocks of yellow light, and then it all like went hazy again. It was very nice. And then there's a bit in the second act where she was saying something in Czech, and he couldn't understand what she was saying. He was like, "What does that mean?" And then because he thought that she was saying that she loved someone else, and then it came up all around the stage saying "you" because she was saying it to him, but he didn't know, and it was beautiful. Yeah, and she said that it looked like rain. Yeah, and didn't say anything, and then it was beautiful. It was. They were both just so good. I may need to go and see Jamie Moscato in something else again. I mean, what options do I have to go and see him in at the minute? You already have tickets. Shush. we already have tickets. We do. We have can seats booked. But yeah, it's been a nice... September is a while away though. It is. And you know, if I go and see it once more before then, can will be 10. We know this. But yeah, it's been a nice week, bookended by Jamie Moscato performances. I did not have it bookended, but I've also had a nice week. I'm going to go now. This is the end of the vlog because it is a Sunday and I will be reading tonight, but I will talk about that tomorrow. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. No, see you soon with a new video. She won't be in the next one. Maybe you will. Maybe I'll film tomorrow morning. We'll see. Maybe. Bye. I don't trust you. No. Bye.